live.
Excellent.
And boom goes the dynamite.
I'm assuming we're starting with main segment.
Yeah, we'll do main segment first.
All right.
Then get into our nibble bits. Start with you played the demo, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably start with that, and then we'll talk about what the demo was missing as opposed to the game, to the full game.
You got it, dude.
Because I mean, I'm interested to see how much of the actual game is in the demo. It's not very much. Okay. Yeah, I figured that's kind of a hard game to encapsulate in a demo.
It's a bad demo game.
Okay, shall we?
As far as I'm concerned, Dan, we should.
All right.
Let's do it.
As far as I'm concerned.
Here we go. 5. Where's my mouse? There it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to episode 189 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Well,
I'm Corey.
That was Miguel from Spain with our intro, so thanks, Miguel, for that. That was awesome. Today is Thursday, March 5th, 2015. Our topic is Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. It came out about a month ago. We're finally going to do an episode. I think we all spent enough time with it that we feel confident we can talk about it. Anything anyone wants to tease for later on in the episode?
Yes.
oh yeah.
I
What do you
got
guys
into
got?
Heroes of the Storm beta this week, so I gave that a whirl. I think other than that, that's probably about it for me.
Yeah, probably last of our 4 in February talk for this year, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that.
You don't want to talk about it. I don't really either, but I will. I've got Just Cause 2 to talk about it a little bit later. But Will, what do you got?
More of my big three, and I played the Kim Kardashian app.
Nice.
I said I would, and
So you can report on
I
that.
gave it a whirl.
Mhm.
But that's pretty much it. Other mobile games, I probably won't talk about them, though.
Okay. What about you, Corey? Anything to tease for later on in the episode?
Nope, just my 4 in February games. I don't think I played anything else other than Monster Hunter, which we'll be talking about.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm also a little under the weather, so if my voice no doubt sounds weird,
Sounds sensual.
thank you. If I start coughing, I'll probably start talking less. So I'll just kind of direct the segments. But for now, I'm doing okay.
You got the whooping cough?
No, it's this weird like throat thing. A little bit of laryngitis, like a frog in my throat, congestion thing.
I was going to say frog in the throat.
Yep, frog in the throat. Other than that, like it's nothing. I'm a little sleepy, but luckily my son had it for like a week and a half, so I'm expecting to have it for another 3 or 4 days anyway. But anyway, yeah, our main segment, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, developed and published by Capcom. Like I said, it's quite the game. There's a lot to it, which is why we wanted to give it plenty of time. I played about between 25 and 30 hours. I think I'm like 27 or 28 hours into it. I should preface this too. This is not going to be a super in-depth discussion on Monster Hunter. Some people play this game for hundreds and thousands of hours. So if you're one of those people, we're kind of just going to do an overview of it for people not familiar with the series.
Plus, we haven't played much in the past.
We haven't played much in the past. I played Monster Hunter 3 on the Wii for like 20-ish hours or so, and never really got into it. I'm definitely liking Monster Hunter 4 better, but we'll get to that when we get there. I want to start with Will, because Will doesn't have Monster Hunter 4, but did play the demo. We had a question a couple of weeks ago about how the demo compares to the actual full game. So I'm going to start with your experience with the demo, Will.
Well, I think the demo is 20 minutes long, and it's basically what Travis said, is you just chase a monster around, and you hit it a couple times, and it runs away to the next instance on the map, and then you chase it there, you do more fighting, and you repeat that like 3 times, and then that's it.
That's a lot less than I even thought it was.
It's pretty bad.
It is.
It was actually pretty bad. I was surprised by how little was in there.
Yeah.
you pretty much didn't want to play it anymore. Again, on the harder difficulty.
So it's definitely not a good representation of.
So
what
there was
Monster Hunter is.
no gear, anything.
I mean, they let you pick your weapon when you start. There's like an entire page of weapons.
Yeah,
There's some
I think
that
there's
are,
12 or 15 different weapons. I didn't look at I forgot to look at the exact amount. But
yeah, there was about that many, and like there was some that was recommended. Like I went with the twin swords, and from there I played, and I wasn't interested at all. And you guys said I would love this game the most out of everybody here, so I'm really hoping the main game is a lot more drawing, because the demo was pretty, I thought, boring.
Yeah, it is, because really the whole draw is your gear and upgrading your gear, which you don't get any of that from the demo, obviously.
No.
It's a game about harvesting resources
Yeah.
to upgrade your gear. One of the things I like about it actually is that there's no actual like levels like there is in a standard RPG, which is cool, because if you decide, if you're 100 hours into the game and you decide you're bored with whatever weapon you chose. Man. Yeah, my brain is also not it's less than 50%. Whatever weapon you choose, you could just switch up on a dime. A lot of times different weapons are better for some, one situation or another, depending on what monster you're hunting. And the whole idea of the game, Monster Hunter, is you hunt big monsters, big dinosaur looking things or what have you. So I guess the best way to go about doing this is, we'll start in the city. There's different. I think I'm at the third hub city. That's kind of where your base of operations, where your guild is, where all the crafting and stuff happens, and you prepare yourself for a hunt. I should say there's a couple different types of missions. There's hunting missions, there's gathering missions, big hunts and little hunts. There's also fishing missions. There's trapping missions, which I just did not that long ago. That was pretty difficult. So I think that's the 5 different missions. There's also expeditions, which is exploring and killing a monster, but also exploring new areas. But before you go out on your hunt, you go to the cook, have them prepare a meal for you, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because that kind of gives you your buffs for before you go out on a hunt, and depending on what you choose to have cooked for you, you get different buffs for different situations. So, if you're going against something that's really aggressive, you can get your buffs for your defense.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's also where you do your forging of gear, your inventory management stuff. Let's talk about the weapons.
They're pretty cool.
They're very cool. One of the things I wanted to say is, if you're new to this game, one of the round 1 or level 1 of the quests that you have are to go into arena and fight like a dinosaur looking thing. Is it a great Jaggy that you fight during that? And it gives you the mission for each weapon, so you can try all the different weapons. And I spent my first 3 hours of the game playing that, trying to figure out which weapon I like best, because they all handle very differently. Erica, you went with the long sword, right?
Bow and sword.
Long bow and sword.
Bone sword.
Bone sword. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that's that's not the sword and shield, right?
No, I think it's just a long sword.
Okay, long sword weapon. What weapon did you go with, Corey?
I am using mostly the hammer, but also the heavy bowgun.
Okay. Did you test those out in the arena before you went out?
Not really. I kind of had in mind that I wanted to just be a big dude with a big hammer.
Gotcha.
So I just chose that right off the bat, and I did use it at the arena. But then I was reading through one of the many guides that I'm reading to make sure I'm not wasting my time while I play this game. And it suggested learning how to use more than one weapon, so I went with the heavy bow gun, which is pretty cool. It's like almost like a big potato gun kind of thing.
Nice.
It's fun.
Okay. I went with I think it's called the war horn. I'm not sure exactly what it's called.
Battlehorn?
Battlehorn. I think that's what it is. And just what that is anytime you do an attack, it plays a note. And then I think I talked about this last week.
Hunting horn.
Hunting horn, yes. It plays a note, and depending on what order you do the notes in, you press the right bumper to actually play the tune that you did, and that gives you different buffs. Buffs your little palico companion, kitty friend, yeah,
friend.
As well as your people you're hunting with. So I got that for when we finally get into a group and hunt. I can give us buffs and stuff.
You used that when we played, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that was what I used.
Can you fight with it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a two-handed weapon. I guess it would be like a two-handed hammer kind of, but I think it's a little bit faster and a little bit more flowy than the two-handed hammer. Like I said, I tried 5 or 6 different weapons, and that was the one that I liked the best. It fit my playing style, I guess. So that's the weapon I ended up picking. And what do you guys think of the combat?
It's fun, you know. I didn't spend any time on any different weapons. I just picked longsword, and that's all I've used.
Nice.
I do want to test the other ones out now that you're talking about it. I really should have.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the other ones look pretty cool. Like the hunting horn sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Dual blades sounds awesome. I pulled up a little menu here with the stuff.
That's the one I used in Monster Hunter 3 was dual blades, just because, like I said, the combat in it is slow. It's more like a Dark Souls type of combat than like a Bayonetta or Kingdoms of Amalur. I think I had just played Kingdoms of Amalur, and that's why I was like, I can't play this. It's so slow.
Yep.
But like I said, Dark Souls is slower. I think this is even slower than Dark Souls, but I kind of got used to it's more about positioning and aim and stuff than it is mashing buttons, you know.
Right,
which is
you can't
really
lock
good.
on.
Yeah, exactly. You can't lock on. You can, kind of target big monsters with the left bumper, but it only kind of just faces.
Centers your camera.
Yeah,
on pretty
exactly.
much.
It faces the direction that the animal is or the thing you're hunting is. So
the weapon that it piqued my interest that I'll probably try is the gun lance.
Mm-hmm. I thought about trying that for my secondary weapon.
So I'll probably give that a whirl next time I play the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the combat's great, like you said, Dan. It is slow paced. You got to time things correctly. Like with mine, the more hits that you string together, it builds up your attack for like special attacks with the longsword. So you got to be careful not to miss.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Yeah.
To not miss here and there.
Yeah.
Because part of it too is like getting the timing down for the attacks that the monster has, and then being able to string that together with your own attacks, and sometimes there's other little mini monsters running around to hit you also. So you gotta. It's a pain in the ass, but it's a good combat system, I think.
Yes, it is. What about you, Corey? What do you think of the combat?
Yeah, I like it. It's like you said, Dan, very similar to Dark Souls, where you're rather than watching status bars and health, an enemy's health bar, which there isn't one. You're relying on more visual cues and paying attention to the enemy animations and stuff to determine how you go about things.
Which is important, and I guess I kind of noticed it in the background, but I was reading up a little bit about it, and that is a really cool. Like when the animal starts like limping and stuff or breathing heavy, it's getting beat up.
See, I haven't been playing with the sound on, so I didn't even know that they breathe heavy.
Yeah, well, they also have like a little puff of smoke coming out, too.
Okay.
Which is really cool. Like Corey said, rather than having a health bar for the stuff you're fighting, it tells you like this thing is. They're also trying to escape, which is kind of cool and makes sense.
Yeah, I do like that there's no health bar for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess it would be a little more frustrating to know where you were at if you died or something and you had one more hit or something like that. That would be frustrating.
Not just that, but also you would realize how little damage you're doing on each hit.
And it would seem like a big hill to climb.
Yeah, some of them take a lot of punishment.
Good 15, 20 minutes.
Probably.
15 minutes of the demo was beating up on a monster.
Yeah.
It took a lot of hits.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just going back to the combat, Dan, did you guys do a lot of group combat?
Dan and I, specific?
I mean, just in general.
No, I only played with Dan the one afternoon for one quest.
You too, Dan?
Yeah.
Really?
That was it. That was all I did.
Because I much more enjoyed. I played a lot today. Just got in a really good group, and we probably did like 10 quests. 10 monster slaying quests pretty quickly too, because there was one guy in the group who was like a hero, or is that what it is? Is that what HR stands for? Is hero rank? Hero rank?
There's so much in the game. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's your online ranking, and like mine was 1, and two of the guys I were with were 2, and then one guy was like 114 or something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, he was obviously decked out. So we'd run into his zone, run up to the boss, and within like 30 seconds it'd be down because of this one guy we were with. which was cool because we still got all the loot and everything in a very short amount of time. But I was in some groups where we were all on the same page and everything, and it's a lot more fun playing with other people because people can, while somebody's distracting the monster, another person can go up behind it and go up on a ledge and jump onto it and mount it and attack it that way and knock it over. And then once it was stunned that way, I'd run up to it with my hammer, which is good at stunning the monster if you hit it in the face. So then I hit it in the face a bunch, and then it would stun it there, and then somebody else would jump in with something else. So you're all working together and playing to each other's strengths and weaknesses. Like I was saying with my bow gun, that's something that you probably wouldn't want to use. I mean, you could, and I did for a while, use fighting monsters by yourself, but in a group it works really well because everyone's distracting the monster, and you can just stand back and pick different types of ammo and sling them at the monster while everyone else is hitting it.
Yeah, that's something I just figured out how to do, is jump onto the monster.
I still don't know.
And stab him. Yeah, you just have to. You gotta sheath your weapon, and then you run up on a ledge and run and jump off, and then as you're like gonna land on the monster, you press Y, whatever the top.
X.
The top
X.
X. Yeah, I forget that the
Like if you're
Nintendo's
pulling your
backwards.
weapon out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it doesn't pull your weapon out.
No.
Well,
No.
it does. You attack. I mean, I think it depends on your weapon too. I think there are weapons where you don't need to jump off a ledge to mount them, but I'm not sure. Again, our rookie-ness is showing here, but yeah. And that's another cool thing is when the monster runs from you, Dan. You mentioned that they, when they're getting fatigued and you're wearing them down, they try and flee. What they do is they go back to like a nesting state and they like curl up in a ball and try and sleep or something. And that's a good opportunity for you to jump on them and mount them and start stabbing them.
Wail on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really fun. That's really the highlight of the game, I guess, is the hunts that you go on and the variety of things that can happen when you're on the hunts. Because a lot of times, if you're hunting a specific thing for whatever quest you're doing, sometimes if you're in an unstable environment, another giant monster will come and screw up your hunt, which makes things pretty tense. Especially, I don't know if either of you guys did the expeditions.
That's where I am right now, is at the first expeditions, and I have not done it yet.
Yeah, they're pretty cool because there's no map for it. You just kind of go, and the whole goal, I guess, of the expedition is just to make it to the cart at the end to go back to town. But that's where a bunch of monsters can attack you all at the same time. The hard ones too, not just the little guys that you wail through. And but there's also like treasure that you can plunder from those, and you get relics that need to be polished for good armor, and like I got a couple relics for armor and weapons that I use, which are nice.
Nice.
But that's an entirely different thing almost from the standard quests. So
yeah, they're still introducing mechanics. I probably have at least 10 hours in the game. I feel like, and they're still introducing mechanics to me that I didn't know were even in the game.
Yep, I'm actually at the point now where I can have multiple palicos for the little kitties, and I'm almost 30 hours into the game, so they're still kind of introducing new things 30 hours in, which is cool. I mean, I think it's good that they take it slow because there is so much. They would definitely overwhelm a new player by throwing all that stuff to you right at the beginning.
Yeah, and time flies when you play this game too.
Oh, definitely.
So it's not like a long, drawn-out process getting all this information. Like, you're having a good time, and time just flies by. I've played for probably almost 9 hours, but it feels like it's been 2.
Yeah. It definitely goes by fast, and it's a good handheld game too.
It's a great handheld.
I never thought it would be, but it's perfect for the.
Honestly, my favorite
3DS.
handheld game I've ever played.
Nice.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
But I don't have the extensive handheld background, I guess.
Gotcha. There's also a ton of items to help you on your quest. I should talk about harvesting a little bit. All the different resources that you can harvest. There's bugs and plants and mushrooms and metals and fish and animals that you harvest. All have like levels of stuff, and different levels have different things, and then you combine those into new items. It's got a very extensive crafting system, and I'm just starting now to use like bombs and stuff, and like I said, I just figured out how to use the traps in one of my more recent story missions, and that's a whole. Apparently you get more resources when you trap an animal instead of just killing it.
Well, that makes sense.
And harvesting it. So that's a new, but it's a lot more difficult because you got to really wound the monster, and then you put the trap down, and then you put bait in the trap to make the monster more likely to go to it.
So it won't go to it until you wound it?
Yeah, you have to wound it first.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think it's too strong and it'll resist the trap.
Okay.
I didn't see what would happen if I just put down the trap. I waited. And then you hit it with tranquilizer bombs to try to get it to go to sleep. It's almost like capturing a Pokemon.
When it's in the trap,
when it's in the trap, yeah.
Wow.
So it doesn't just get trapped with the trap.
Right. You got to knock it out while it's stuck in the trap.
I think I made some meat that can put it to sleep.
Yeah, it's like
meat.
it's called like tinged meat or something like that.
Yeah, tinged
Yeah,
meat.
'cause
That's
you
what
can
that's
also,
for then, huh?
You can also like poison the meat too. I guess
That's
if you want
terrible.
to trap it and poison it. I
Has
guess.
PETA looked at this game?
No, they probably wouldn't be very happy about it.
It's great once you defeat a monster though, and everybody piles on top of it and carves away.
Yeah. Yeah, you just start because the guy actually like takes out a knife and just. I mean, it's not bloody, but
No.
there's only a little splatter of blood sometimes when you hit them.
It's not as violent looking as when you skin something in Far Cry 4
Right.
or Far Cry 3.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dan, I actually did a little experimenting yesterday with some of my items just to see what I could make.
Mm-hmm.
I made some bombs and some other shit that I don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
But
There's a few things that are like weapon specific. Like I keep getting these nectars,
okay.
which are for the insect glaive weapon, I guess. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to try to figure all that out. That's apparently pretty. I guess it gets heavy into micromanaging all those different things. So I'm glad I just went with the battle horn weapon, which is pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I don't know. See, I want to get into like the poison arrows and shit like that, but I don't know. A bow and arrow just never really appeals to me.
yeah, and like Corey said, that's better for if you're hunting in a group too. I can't imagine that would work too well if you're by yourself, because you kind of you got to get into the thick of it.
You do.
So I don't know how that
You
would
can
work.
do the old bullfighter thing where you let it charge at you, then move out of the way, then spin around, fire your bow at it a couple times, and then.
Oh, I'm sure there's solo bow and arrow experts in Monster Hunter.
Legends.
Yeah, I was reading the Reddit about it, and people are really really into the Monster Hunter games.
I can see why.
Hundreds and thousands of hours, and mastering all the different weapons, and I can't believe it. But like, I think the how long to beat for Monster Hunter 4 right now is like 74 hours for the main story.
Holy crap.
Which is a lot. But I was looking for Monster Hunter 3, and I think the completionist is like 370 or 450 or something like that.
That's it?
It's insane. I don't know what exactly that entails for that type of game, but
See, I think this is a good handheld game for me specifically because I don't play a lot of handheld games,
yeah.
and I don't feel like I've forgotten anything when I go back to it for whatever. Even though there's a lot to it,
Yeah.
I don't know that stuff.
Right.
But the stuff that I do know so far, I haven't forgotten when I go back to it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like once you pick it up, you just know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like riding a bike.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, you're hunting monsters.
Yep.
And fighting monsters. And you can go back and do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a game I'm going to rush through the story. I'm going to, I wanted to play as much as I could for this week, but, it's a game that I'll probably just pick up every few days and play for an hour or two.
Same here.
And hope to get through it by the end of the year. Because, like I said, the main story is supposed to be like 70-some hours. And I think that's just because you have to get enough. Your gear has to be good enough to be able to complete some of the hunts.
Right.
So
What is the main story?
I'm as of right now, I think I'm supposed to be helping a hunters guild take down this dragon.
Oh,
I think that's where the story's going right now.
okay.
You're part of like a traveling caravan
Yeah.
that goes from place to place
Okay.
and hunts
Yeah.
monsters along the way.
Solves different
That's it.
village problems. Yeah. It's never. I guess this is supposed to be a more story focused.
Really?
Monster Hunter than a lot of the other ones. Yeah.
Wow.
And the story's, I mean, it's weak, but like
At best.
that's that's not why you're playing Monster Hunter.
No.
No, and I guess as far as the non-player characters go, like there's a lot more like non-player NPCs that you interact with in this one than in previous Monster Hunter games.
Okay.
So,
You know, I was thinking on the way over here that Monster Hunter is what Destiny should have been. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was thinking that there is some similarities though.
There are similarities. They just do it what Destiny wants to do way better.
Right.
Oh, 3DS.
Yeah, on a handheld. There's just so much more depth to what's going on.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not as graphically intensive, but I don't know. I just think that if Destiny could pull that off in Destiny's world, it'd be a great game.
Oh yeah, people would be.
Oh, I mean, God, I'd be into it for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into Destiny. I just thought of that comparison in my head.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some similarities there.
Yeah.
It's the endless gear treadmill. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except there's
That's
way
one of the
more.
things. Oh yeah, there's tons of stuff, tons of stuff, and like I feel like there's a good reason for you to you need to advance in the game. You need to have that gear, you know.
Right.
Well, it's sort of the MMO. You know, it's very similar to an MMO in that respect because it's
Sure.
Yeah.
it doesn't the game. Let's be honest, doesn't do anything remarkable, but
Yeah.
you want to keep playing it because there's always that, you know, carrot on a stick that you always want to improve and get better and do that.
Yeah, to take down bigger and stronger, faster, more dangerous monsters.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to the point where I need to have like a bunch of resists up and stuff, you know.
Oh, really?
I've gotten one monster that used poison a lot.
So, do you like keep different sets of armor?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
supposed to, and
Okay.
weapons. I guess you know,
Fuck.
depending on how the monster fights you.
That's a haul.
Yeah, people will register dozens of different sets of equipment depending on the hunt that they're going on.
Yeah, with different
So,
resists.
what do you mean by register?
You can if you go to
saved?
yeah
Go ahead.
yeah if you go to in your house there's the equipment box where you store all your items and stuff.
Yep.
You can register sets of equipment and give them a name so you know like this is for hunting a fire
Okay.
monster kind of thing.
So you would just call it like fire armor.
Right, yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, see, I haven't done that. I only have one set of armor, and I mean, I'm not that far into the game, so it's probably not a huge deal. I've just been selling off the armor that I
The extra
unequip,
stuff, yeah.
but none of it. It's all just been like plain ass chainmail and stuff like that. It doesn't have a lot of resistances, but now I started the Jaggy armor set, so I'm not gonna sell that if I get it because that does have a lot of resistances and whatnot to it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should try to do more multiplayer.
Oh, for sure.
So that's a lot. It was fun that one mission.
Yeah.
We went on. I think we should Skype though when we're
That'd be way more fun.
yeah. We could coordinate our attacks a little bit better.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so far really liking Monster Hunter. I don't really have anything to complain about with it.
Well,
I don't have
how
any
many
negatives.
big monsters do you think you've taken down?
Probably 12 or 13.
Okay. Have you
think
died a lot?
No, I fainted maybe 4 or 5 times.
But it's felt challenging.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Some of them, especially like the most recent one I fought was like a giant spider, with pincers on the front, and that was quite a. I had to reach deep to kill that guy off.
Fortitude.
But preparation is another thing that's really important for this. You got to go in making sure you have everything you need. You can find some of the stuff that you need in the environment to like if you need an emergency. You need to make potions.
Make a potion.
Yeah, you can find that stuff, but it's really easier just to go in with everything that you need. So preparation is really important, and that goes back to the meal that you have before you go out, which is a really cool animation too.
See, I haven't been able to use the meals because I just got done. I'm at the point where I think the cook is trying to get hired by the caravan dude.
Okay, I think you could still go get a meal.
He won't let me.
Oh, really?
No, he doesn't give me an option.
Okay.
He just said, "Why doesn't the caravaneer
go to the table?" You gotta go to the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had that same problem, Eric. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to get a meal from this guy.
yeah.
And then I remembered back in the tutorial they tell you to sit at the table.
See, I thought it was just part of the story. Like you had to go unblock his route or whatever for him, or save his whatever the case was, and then he would cook you a meal. So that's what I was expecting after I beat that quest. And I went back there, and he just kept telling me how he wanted to work for the Caravaneer. I was like, yeah, but can you fucking grill me a fish or something? Like,
yeah, I think his stuff gets better after you do his missions.
Okay.
And all the things have upgrades. The you can upgrade by doing various things. You upgrade the food that's available for your cook and
Okay.
like everything is upgradable.
yeah. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it is.
For stamina, like right now when I go into a mission, there's the item chest, and it'll give me 3 ration to rebuild my stamina. Does that just keep happening, or are there other ways to rebuild your stamina?
Steaks.
Steaks.
Yeah, if you make yourself a steak, that'll also recharge your stamina.
So I gotta figure out how to make a steak.
Yeah, you have to have a spit
And raw meat.
and raw meat.
Okay, so that was like just like the one of the missions in the beginning.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I've only needed to have like 1 or 2 pieces of steak to recharge my stamina. Usually the rations are enough. I try to if it's something I'm fighting, I try to go after it like right away before my stamina goes down.
Same here.
I've gotten lucky thus far, but I think the later you go, that's when you need to have all that stuff on you.
Okay, because I was kind of looking last night, just doing some Google searching, getting into items and shit, and there's just so much. I was getting overwhelmed by the amount of information that was in front of me.
Yeah, I think there's like 40 big monsters to hunt, and like
somebody had a question.
I think I read 75.
It could be. There's
like 100 monsters, and 75 of them are major, and 20 something are minor.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
I was trying to figure out that information before we did the episode, but yeah, I think you're right, Corey. I think it is like a little over 100, and the vast majority of them are big hunts, not so much little hunts.
So I've gone on 2 big hunts so far, and then like I said, it just unlocked the expedition. So I'm assuming I'm pretty close to the second area.
Oh boy, I don't remember. Probably.
Yeah, right after the expedition.
Is it right after?
Okay, I figured it was something like that.
Yep. You have to do the first expedition, and then you go through it again and fight a different monster, and then you go to the second area.
Okay. Now, is there a lot of variation in the areas, Dan?
I think they're randomly generated. I think there's like 20 or 25 different pieces that they kind of put together.
Okay.
And it differs every time you go in it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely see repetition in the different pieces that go on that, but it is randomly generated.
Right.
So it'll never be exactly the same twice.
Okay. Cool.
Make sure you take pickaxes because that's how you get the
ore?
the relics too.
Okay, yeah, I do have pickaxes with me.
Yeah.
I randomly stumbled across how to make a master pickaxe or something.
Mega pickaxe.
Mega pickaxe.
Yeah.
I stumbled across the recipe just combining shit, fucking around. So
Nice.
yeah.
Any complaints?
I guess it's a small complaint. Like the reason I asked about the environment variations is I think the environments could look a little better sometimes. I mean, it's a good looking handheld game, but they're just kind of drab and especially the ones where it's just like rocks.
Yeah, the step is the one you're talking about. There is like I think there's maybe 4 or 5 different like
Biomes.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Corey.
Okay.
Biomes.
I know what you're talking about.
Maybe even more. I think I've come across 4 of them right now.
There's snow one.
Yeah. Ice.
All right.
So that does help. They do get better. The one you're talking about is kind of boring.
Yeah.
I agree.
But other than that, I don't really have any complaints. I honestly haven't really felt overwhelmed with everything except when I start doing Google searches.
Yeah, and that's because you're probably getting more information than you need. Right away.
Way more information than they're showing me all the fucking items that I just have no use for right now.
Yeah, I think they do. Like I said, they do a nice job of easing you into it over time. And like I said, even almost 30 hours in, I'm still learning new things, and they teach you slowly.
But even at 30 hours, you don't feel like it's holding your hand.
No, I never felt like it was holding my hand.
Yeah.
I really felt like I was working for.
It doesn't feel like one big tutorial.
No, it doesn't, which is good. And a lot of people have said that this is the most newbie friendly
I can see
Monster
that.
Hunter, and I totally see that too.
Not that I've played another one, but like it just seems for the amount of content that's there and everything that you hear about how in depth these games are, and they obviously are from playing it now. Like I said, I've never felt overwhelmed, and it felt pretty easy to get into.
Yep.
So
Okay.
and the part of the great thing of this game is discovery of making items and combining items and upgrading things and discovering all that for yourself. That's
Yeah.
part of the cool part of it. So
And getting that last resource that you need to
Yeah.
make a set of armor you've had your eye on for a while. That's pretty nice feeling.
My next goal, probably after I get to the second area, as long as I'm good enough with armor and my weapon, is to upgrade my weapon. So I started looking last night into what I needed for that. So I'm gonna have to
nice.
do a little grinding.
Yeah, there is a little grinding in it.
It's like you replay quests and stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you can do that, or I've been doing a lot of expeditions.
See, this is where the online portion is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Is when you're grinding. Doing that with other people, well, you guys will make it a lot more
fun.
enjoyable.
Fun and easy.
Yeah. Like killing the great Jaggy 5 times to get 5 fucking skins will be a lot better with people that you're playing with. Even if it's not you guys, just anybody. But give it a little more variation, I guess.
How about you, Corey? Any negatives for Monster Hunter?
No, not really. The egg quests kind of annoy me.
Yeah. Having to carry those stupid things, and you can't run because sometimes you trip and it.
You can.
Yeah, I run in little spurts.
Yeah, you got to be very careful.
Yeah.
If your stamina bar drops into the red, you drop the egg.
Oh, is that how it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I was so pissed because the first egg mission that you get, took the first egg back, no problem whatsoever. Then I got a golden egg, took that back, no problem. So I'm on the last egg, and I'm like, this is nothing. Because Corey had already told us how he had spent 2 hours doing this egg mission. So I'm walking the next egg back, and I drop it. So I go back and get another one, and I am literally at the point in the map where you're about to go back into the camp, and I didn't realize that I had held the stamina run down too long, and I fucking dropped it literally a step away from getting back to the camp.
That's frustrating.
There's a skill in the game called Traveler that I just found out today that makes carrying eggs much easier.
Ah,
So you can mod your equipment to boost your Traveler skill to make that easier.
nice. So that would be your egg equipment.
Yep. Eggs.
Egg runner.
Yeah, egg runner.
Nice. Okay.
That's awesome.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like it?
For a handheld game, God, it'd be tough to beat this one for me. I'd say it's a 9.
Yeah, I was gonna go at about 8.5 or 9 too.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a perfect 10, but it's definitely a 9 for me. I'd say.
Yeah. Corey.
Well, you know me, I don't like to assign things a number, but I would definitely say it's a must play on the 3DS.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. If you have a 3DS, it's definitely.
Oh
something
yeah,
you should get.
have to have it.
And also because you can sink a lot of time into it. It's it's a $40 game that you could spend 100 hours playing.
Easy.
You can't really get a better value than that.
Yeah.
So okay. Any other thoughts on Monster Hunter?
No, I'm looking forward to playing some more. Perhaps this weekend we could get in a
Definitely.
little group hunt and help me get my armor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or not my armor. Well, my armor and my weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get that full Jaggy armor set.
I'm down for that.
Get my guy looking badass. Corey,
Mm-hmm.
what armor set is your Palico using right now?
I don't remember. I haven't upgraded any of my Palico stuff.
Oh. It was cool when Dan and I partnered up because Dan had made his Palico look like Mario,
Yeah.
and mine looks like Luigi.
Don't you have to download that?
Was that part of the downloadable content?
It might have been.
I think so because I
think
didn't
the
download it.
I think the components for it you have to download.
Oh, so did that come as part of that starter pack
I
thing?
think so.
It must have because it's the only thing I downloaded.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think you're right, Corey.
All right.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. We're going to take a quick break and be back with Nimble Bits and our weeks right after this. All right. Should we get right into it?
What time's the Nibble Bit starting?
It'll be 38:45.
Double tits.
All right.
I just want to play Monster Hunter now.
I just want to play Heroes of the Storm now.
I've got. I bought Homeworld Remastered.
Oh, you did?
I did.
On Steam?
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Dan's the best.
I bought something else. Oh, there came an Echo.
Oh, you did get that?
I did.
Nice.
It was only $13. I was like,
I've been looking at this GOG sale that they've had going last couple days, but there's this. I know it's like constant swapping out games. Every time I get on, there's not even anything that's teasing me.
yeah. Well, those are all old games.
Well, they have
some
new
movies.
and they're doing fresh games and old games.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I haven't been on there. Yeah, I like to. My only problem with GOG is I like to have everything on in one place on Steam.
Well, don't
So
some of them come as Steam codes, right?
I don't think so. Not on
Oh,
GOG.
I didn't know that.
I think they just.
Well, I'm glad I didn't
install
buy
their own.
anything because that would bother me too.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to have some sort of thing with Steam with
Okay.
with GOG Galaxy, but I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I know a multiplayer is going to be cross-platform.
Okay,
So,
nice.
um,
Well, yeah, Homeworld looked awesome.
yeah, everyone says it's like the best PC game ever made, or one of the best PC games ever made.
When did that come out?
Late 90s, I
Oh,
think.
damn.
Like 1999, maybe.
It got good. Like the remaster got good reviews, so it
Yeah.
must hold up.
Yep. I guess Gearbox did a really good job with the remastering too. Like it actually looks like a brand new game.
Oh,
And,
cool.
they redid all the audio with all the voice actors from back then too.
Nice.
So
I wanted to ask you guys: who's interested in Hotline Miami? Are we gonna do Hotline Miami 2?
yeah, did you want to do do we want to do like Hotline Miami 2, Ori and the Blind Forest?
Because we could probably do that.
Or if you just want, like, I didn't know if you wanted it, if you were going
Depends
to get
on money.
right.
I was probably gonna buy whichever one you thought we should do the episode on.
Okay, because we could do both. Because I put Hotline Miami, the first one, on my computer, and I can play it this weekend probably. So when the second one comes out, I'll buy that.
Okay, and I'll get Ori.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want, or I could buy Ori.
Is that on PC?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was only Xbox.
No, it's coming. It's going to be on Steam next week, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck it. Cool. Then we can play both. Awesome.
Yeah, if you want to do a dual episode. What day are those games? I think
They're out on Tuesday.
Okay.
Well, let's make sure before we.
I think they both come out on Tuesday. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I think they do. Let's see.
Slow.
Video games.
Video games. I sold the order for $40, and I was gonna put that towards Battlefield, and then I went to a bar.
Oh, and spin it.
Now $30 later in the
Oh
wallet.
man.
Oof. Yeah. I hate that.
Yep.
I don't come out feeling like that was a good $30.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like fuck me.
Even in the days where I really enjoyed going to bars, I still I'd spend $40 and I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Okay, Ori doesn't go out to the 11th, which is Wednesday.
Okay, so
So it would. Ugh.
yeah, we probably won't be able to
Let's see if we can do Hotline.
hotline. I think that's Tuesday.
Yeah, that's Tuesday. That's a little more doable.
Did you play the first one, Dan?
No, but I installed it so I could play it this weekend.
Okay.
If we decide to do the episode on Hotline Miami 2 next week.
I mean, I looked at the release schedules,
Yeah.
and unless we do that, we're gonna have to come up with something not new release.
We can do that. Because I should be able to play it like Tuesday night and Wednesday during the day.
Okay. I'm trying to think what my schedule's like that week. Yeah, because I think I work Friday night, so we wouldn't be able to do Friday anyway.
Right.
Because I was thinking if we could, we could do both games, but
Right.
I think I have to work. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So we'll just count on Hotline Miami 2 for now.
We'll plan on Hotline Miami 2.
Okay.
Cool.
Could we do a whole episode on Hotline Miami 2?
There's no other games coming out that we're getting.
I guess that's fine, right? Just a shorter main segment.
It can
Yeah,
be, and we
yeah.
can kind of retouch on the first one too, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially because it'll be fresh for Dan.
Yeah. I might even start that tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's short.
Yeah,
I played the whole thing
5
on
hours.
Vita.
I recommend having a few beers with it, though.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do
You
that.
got any
Maybe I
mushrooms?
could. Yeah, I've got Portobello's.
I don't think those will do the trick, but you can try it.
Yeah.
Just leave them out for a really long time.
Oh, they get so gross when they've been sitting like in the fridge for a while.
For like 2 days.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. All right.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's kick her off, Dan. It's going to take the rest of the episode to get through my nibble bits.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 189 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in our Nibblebits segment. Will, do you want to get started with Nibblebits?
Sure, Dan. My first one is Evolve is getting an observer mode for free, which allows people to watch full matches, and it makes it easier for streamers to commentate. The joke with this, though, is everybody's surprised that it's free, and they're not charging for it.
Yeah.
But that'll be pretty cool. Watching the game, I think, is pretty cool. See how people interact and play together. My next one is coming to the PS4 and Xbox One is Rock Band 4. There hasn't been a Rock Band or good music-driven game in a while, really. In this vein, they're going to work on trying having past instruments compatible with the new version, but they're not exactly sure. My guess is no, because they'll make it that way.
Right.
I think that's a good guess, Will.
Yeah, there's no way that they'd have them work.
Educated guess.
But the first comment on the Structoid article was, I wish these games would disappear for good. And I was kind of disappointed. I was just like,
What?
these games are great. Granted, there hasn't been one in a while.
I had a lot of fun with Guitar
Rock Band's
Hero
a fucking blast.
Rock Band.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there was a ton of them that came out in a short time span, but it's been like 4 years since one's come out. Like, I'm ready for one.
Absolutely.
And it's probably going to buy it.
All right, who was that said that on Destructoid? Well, let's find out here.
Whoever was is an asshole.
People can call them on it.
Good.
But I did the math for when games came out. So for Guitar Hero in like a 4-5 year span, there was 18.
Oh my god.
Counting the offshoots of like DJ Hero and the mobile apps and stuff like that, and Rock Band had 12.
Wow.
Because they had like versions too. Like didn't they have like Guitar Hero Beatles?
Beatles,
Like that?
yeah.
Rock Band had the
Rock Band,
Beatles, and Green Day, and Guitar Hero had Aerosmith, AC/DC, and just a bunch of them. So
Yeah.
but I mean, granted, I could see why people would be pretty sick of them now or back then, but now like
It's time.
I'm ready.
It is. I totally agree with
We
that.
should get drunk and play Rock Band
It's
and
fun
put it
time-
on our YouTube.
It's fun times.
I plan on doing guitar runs and putting it on YouTube.
I used to be decent at the guitar and drums.
Oh yeah.
I was way better at the guitar than I was at drums. I'm a little uncoordinated for a drummer, but
Drumming
It's okay.
was always insanely hard.
it's fun though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It was definitely the most fun, but
I have a drum set right over there from my 360 Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah,
Guitar Hero 3.
there it is.
Who makes Rock Band?
Harmonix.
Yeah, Harmonix. I'm hoping this doesn't come out in the fall because that's when everything's gonna be really expensive. And on
Yeah.
top of getting a drum set and a guitar, and it's gonna be a lot of money to begin with, so I'm hoping this summer.
Yeah, I want to say Guitar Hero 3 with all the instruments and stuff was like $180.
Nice.
I'm not going to buy it again, but I look forward to playing Will's copy.
There you go.
I mean, I'm going to get it. And I liked Rock Band a little bit more because they had bands that I liked. Granted, it was DLC.
Yeah.
I never liked the soundtrack for the games. I'm not.
I'll
See, I
never
didn't think they were awful.
I'll never forget how bad that one Tool song was to play on
Oh,
Guitar Hero.
was it Schism?
I don't even know.
I think
what
it
the
was
name of
Schism.
It was awful.
Yeah, well, Tool blows anyway.
Yeah.
It was like minutes
I agree.
long and just. Yeah.
It didn't make sense musically, but I'm not a music person.
Mhm.
But like it had no rhythm or anything.
That's kind of Tool's thing.
Is it?
They're like trying to overthink music, I think.
Okay.
And
I hated
some
it.
people just buy into it and love it.
And then there was that Dragon, the final song in Guitar Hero 3.
Dragon Force?
Dragon that song was
What?
awesome.
That was a great
To the
song.
Fire and Flames.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I know somebody who cleared it on Expert.
Really?
Actually, two people. I never got close.
Oh
I couldn't
my
do the
God.
intro, but I know two people who did end up actually doing
I used to
it.
watch people on YouTube do it, and I was like, "How do your fingers move that fast?"
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
I don't know, man. I can't like comprehend the tapping like in the beginning of it. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Even when you put it on like half speed, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I was a
Good
decent
stuff.
guitarist. I could play an Expert pretty well.
Yeah.
But
I only ended up being able to do a few songs on Expert on Guitar Hero guitar.
yeah.
I never got past like medium on drums, but
I always said if I spent the
So
time learning real guitar that I spent playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band, I would probably be good at guitar.
yeah. Well, that was the whole point of the South Park episode.
people need putting forth that effort into real instruments and stuff like that.
Stan's dad was like, "Hey guys, I can actually play these songs on guitar." Like, guitars are for old people.
It makes me feel bad. It makes me wish I learned.
Yeah.
And my last one is Gone Home is no longer coming to the consoles. It was going to be published by Majesco, but they are having financial difficulties, so they're no longer going to publish it.
Wow.
Yeah. I know people love that game.
Yeah,
So,
they did.
I wasn't a fan, but that's disappointing for the other people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend $20 on that again.
Okay.
That's it, though.
What do you got, Corey?
Oh boy, EA is shutting down Maxis. That was some big news. Or did they're done? They're shut down, I should say. If you're unfamiliar, Maxis is the developer of SimCity, The Sims, Spore, as well as a few other games. They've been around for almost 28 years.
Holy crap.
Apparently the brand will carry on, though, so there will still be a Maxis brand, just so they can probably slap that on the box of the next Sims expansion.
Yeah, so they can exploit it.
Yeah. Apparently EA has a bit of a reputation doing this, so...
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Which is why next week's question of the week will be somewhat related to this.
Nice.
But that's too bad. Rest in peace.
Yeah. That's awful.
It sucks their last big game was SimCity.
I know.
Well, the article I think I read on I was reading it on Cinema Blend, and they what?
The Sims 4 was their last game, right? That came out after SimCity.
Yeah, you're right.
Did it?
Or is that a different studio?
I think The Sims 4 came out after
Yeah.
SimCity.
Yeah, it definitely
It did.
did. Is that the same studio?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The article I read, I think it was Cinema Blend, speculated that was had a big part in why they were shut down was because of what happened with SimCity.
Which is probably EA's fault.
Yeah.
Maxis's fault.
I was going to say, it probably was EA
But-
more so.
Anyway.
Yep. Dan, you tweeted back at that Nibblebit saying, "How do you shut down Maxis?" And I was trying to come up with some kind of joke that included SimCity, like
Yeah.
traffic or something, but nothing came to mind. Just failed joke. Anyway, 3 release dates to be aware of. Mad Max releasing on September 1st of this year. That release date was just announced. Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster will come out on May 12th. Is anybody going to get that?
I'll get it when it comes out for PC.
Yeah,
I kind of want to. When does that come out?
May 12th. It's a good time, though, right?
No,
right
because
before The
isn't The
Witcher.
Witcher right?
I thought
I'm
the-
not buying The Witcher though.
Oh.
I don't know. It depends on my status at that point. Because I bought 10-2 remake for PS3 and never opened it. But 10 is one of the Final Fantasies that I played and I liked it. So I wouldn't mind going back to it. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes.
If I had a console, I would get it.
Yeah, so would I.
You were a fan of the 10 and 10-2?
I only played. I never played 10-2. I played 10 for like a couple hours, and the only reason I would get it would be to play experience
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never played it either.
Did you ever watch me and Jared play it?
I watched you and Jared play 8 a lot.
Didn't you watch us play 10 also though?
I don't.
That was the one that had a lot of orange, and there was that game you played with the ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. It'll come out on PC at some point, and that's when I'll make the purchase.
Cool.
Are you gonna get it on Steam, Dan?
Of course.
I was just gonna say, oh, perfect.
Of course.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I should say I already bought The Witcher 3 on Steam.
Which is why I'm not buying it.
It was I think it was 20% off. And I was just like, I'm gonna get it anyway. I might as well just buy it now. So I did.
You know, speaking of 20, this is a little bit of a sidetrack here, but do you guys know about this gamers club that Best Buy has?
No.
I heard about it. I heard that they're changing it.
Okay,
That's
I
the first time I
just
heard
heard
about
about it this week. They are changing it. It's going to be cheaper now.
it. Okay.
So starting sometime in March, I believe it is, you can get a membership for $30 a year, and that gets you 20% off all new titles, hard
Really?
copy,
Wow.
and 10% increase on trade-in credit. A couple other things like used game titles and shit. But yeah, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
It's 20% off $60, $12.
Yeah. I think The Witcher came to like 47
See
something.
your
Buy
games.
free games.
Yeah.
buy 3 games and you've made your money back. That's a pretty good deal.
I thought so too. I might look into that. But sorry for the little side note.
Oh no, that's fine.
And the final release date I have to announce, I think somebody else has a couple others. Trine 3 was announced for release this year, and they introduced that with a trailer. Did any of you guys see the trailer?
No, I
did.
had to watch it.
I'm excited for that.
Does it look awesome?
Yeah,
It does.
Dude, Trine 2 was fantastic.
it really was. And this one takes a little bit more advantage of 3-dimensional. You know how the other one was mostly 2D?
Yeah.
This one's more 3-dimensional, like over-the-shoulder kind of stuff. So
Oh, cool.
the subtitle will be Artifacts of Power. Trine 3 Artifacts of Power.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they didn't try and get cutesy with the name, because Trine kind of means 3. So it's like saying 3-3.
Uh-huh.
But they just said Trine 3. I like that.
Okay.
Skyrim is getting a PC update, courtesy of Bethesda. And it's mostly, or it is all for mods to make them a little more manageable. Namely, they're removing the mod size limit for Steam Workshop mods. So if the mod is over a certain size, in the past you couldn't get it through the Steam Workshop, but
Or you would have to download it multiple parts.
right, that will be no more, which is great.
It's great. Now I don't have to set it up for you. You can just take care of it on your own.
Yep.
'Cause
Good one, Dan.
All you have to do is no, all you have to do is you search the mods, you click a button, and it downloads them and installs them for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
and
I'll try-
also
Maybe.
Steam will also handle the mod downloads. In the past, you had to open up the launcher and install them that way, and if there were updates, you had to do the same thing. But now Steam will just handle it all in the background for you, so you don't need to worry about it.
and
Okay.
that means you don't need to worry about the Nexus Mod Manager.
Okay.
You just download it through Steam.
Cool.
It's pretty easy.
Don't have to mess around with that
Now,
garbage.
when does this take place?
I'm not sure if it had a date on it. If it did,
Okay.
I missed it.
It's just coming.
It's coming, yeah. But good on Bethesda for doing that. I wish they had done it a little bit sooner, because as someone who has a lot of mods, it would have made things a lot easier in the past. But
Yep.
better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
And my last one is there are a ton of rumors abound regarding the yet unofficially named Black Rock Mountain expansion for Hearthstone. But we'll probably know more about that tomorrow, being Friday the 6th. Blizzard's having their PAX East panel at 10:30 a.m. So
Talking about heroes and Overwatch.
That's gonna be on. I should.
Will, do you want to
I'm
Skype?
gonna try to watch it.
Want to Skype and watch?
I have to watch it.
Well, yeah. Can we Skype and watch it together?
Sure, I guess.
And
Might as
squeal
well.
and squeal. We'll squeal all together.
If they're releasing 2 heroes and heroes next week, like in honor of PAX, I'm gonna be so happy. I'll probably buy one just because.
Nice.
We'll
Stop
talk.
it.
We'll talk
Stop
about that
it.
game
I've
later.
got such a boner right now.
Nice.
Ugh.
Okay.
I've been saving up all my coins in Hearthstone for this expansion.
Have you?
Yeah.
How much is it usually?
I don't. Nobody knows if it's going to be like the Nax content where you buy 30 or 20, spend $20 for like a solo adventure, or if it will be like Goblins vs Gnomes, where they just introduce a bunch of new cards into the game.
Okay.
They don't know for sure, but they don't even know if it's actually called Black Rock Mountain. It's just there's been a lot of little hints at it here and there that that's what it is.
Nice.
Those people are pretty good at digging at that stuff. And finding
Yeah, I mean they went into some patch file that said this card back will be awarded when you buy the BRM content, and people just speculated that that meant Black Rock Mountain. And there's been evidence on the Blizzard webpage, sort of alludes to Black Rock Mountain, which is a zone in World of Warcraft. But
Okay.
they had a bunch of creatures that are in that zone in World of Warcraft on the Hearthstone page or something like that. So everybody's thinking that that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Blizzard really knows how to tease the nutsack, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I've been a long time anti-Blizzard person, but even their stuff is starting to interest me now, which is saying a lot because I've been anti-Blizzard for a very long time.
Let's wait and talk more Blizzard
Yeah,
later.
yeah, we can do that.
All right. There's a lot I want to talk about.
Any more nibble bits, Corey?
Nope.
Okay, Eric, what do you got for us?
I got 9 nibble bits, Dan.
Nice.
I was just throwing them out there. This is my newfound love of MOBAs. I had to tweet this one. I would highly recommend that you go to our Twitter if this piques your interest at all and watch the video for this game. A game called Gigantic. is headed to Xbox One and Windows 10, and it's going to have cross-play support. So you're only going to need one account to play on either platform, and you can play against people on either platform.
Nice.
They describe it as a MOBA RPG arena shooter hybrid. I watched the video for it. It's pretty cool. Instead of each team trying to take down the other team's tower at the back of their area, the back of their half of the map, you actually have like a gigantic monster god that fights with you. One team has like a big snake-looking thing, and the other team has like a big griffin. And there's kind of like a halftime, so when one team loses enough health or something like that, their god goes and attacks the other god. And there's not really any lanes to it like there is in MOBAs. It's kind of more of a shooter. I don't know. It sounds pretty interesting to me. It looked fun. The video looks pretty cool. It was a 4-minute video. It's on IGN, and I tweeted the link to it. I would definitely check that out if you're into MOBAs. Mm-hmm. Trying to put a new twist on things. Always a welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound cool to you, Will?
I hadn't seen it, so I'm going to watch it. But
this is the first I had heard of it.
It sounds pretty cool. I'll have to watch it when I get home.
Yeah.
The stuff for it.
That is supposed to be out this year.
Oh, boy.
Also.
Let me just get into every MOBA.
Yeah. And during that same announcement, they also announced that Elite Dangerous is coming to Xbox One, and it was later found out that it's also coming to PS4, just it's coming to Xbox One first.
Timed exclusive.
For consoles. Dan's going to tell us a little bit about Elite Dangerous?
Yeah, it's a space sim. Pretty much what you do in space, you can do in Elite Dangerous. That's it. Right now, it's got Oculus Rift support. It's a game I've been very interested in. It's like a just open world space game. It's I guess similar to like Star Citizen and stuff like that. You pilot a ship and you can kind of go your own route.
Eve,
yeah, like that. But first person. I've been interested, but I want to get a flight joystick for it. I don't want to play on the keyboard and mouse. A controller would probably be fine.
I know somebody that's playing it.
Yeah.
With a flight stick.
Yeah.
That's what it's pretty complicated, like control wise.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
Because the physics are like more real, I guess.
Yep.
So it sounds cool though.
Yeah, I watched. I think it was Joystick. I think before they fired everybody, I watched. I watched Joystick. I feel bad.
Wait, now we laugh at
I feel bad. But I watched them play Elite Dangerous with the flight stick and Oculus Rift, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
So.
It was just funny the way it came up.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Before turns out it's not funny at all.
hey, if you're a former Joystick employee, we're always looking for unpaid interns.
We're on your side. Come work for free.
Yeah.
Next, HBO Go is finally available on your PS4 console. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Also, kind of along the lines with that, I read a rumor yesterday that the new HBO subscription service might only be $15 a month.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
That's a lot cheaper than I was thinking it would be.
Yeah, I would probably pay that for a few months and try and binge Game of Thrones.
Get everything right in.
Yep.
Yeah, so if it's $15 a month, I might do the same thing, Dan, because I want to watch. Actually, no, Sopranos I can watch on Amazon Prime. But yeah, Game of Thrones I'd like to watch. So that's cool. Did anybody see the special edition Metal Gear Solid 5 PS4 that was announced?
I saw it.
I saw the pictures.
It's only for Asia, the Asian territories, as of right now. What did you guys think of the look of it?
It was okay. Not nearly as cool as the anniversary one, the gray one.
It's okay looking. I didn't love it. A lot of people think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the top half of the console is like a maroonish red, and it's got the part where it's separated, where it lights up, is like gold, and then the bottom is still black.
I think it looks pretty cool.
It's okay.
Not as cool as the anniversary.
The anniversary one was a nice piece of hardware.
Yeah, it was tight.
Yeah. But hope maybe it'll come over this way, over the seas. Let's see, which one should we do next? EA Access has added a new game to the vault. Madden NFL 15, the latest Madden game, was put in. This is how they should operate EA Access.
Yeah.
And this is how they're going to make it worth it. Like, if you're going to put your new sports games in there, 6 months or whatever it is after they're released, that's how they should operate that to make it worth it.
Yeah.
That's what I said when they first announced this whole thing. So People, I was reading a lot of comments about this yesterday. People are hoping that the NHL game is the next one to go in there. If that happens, I might re-up for a month just to play it.
Play NHL for a while.
For
Yeah.
shits and giggles.
Ugh.
I don't know. Well, I didn't buy it, you know?
Yeah, you weren't stupid.
Well, I bought everything else, so I was kind of stupid.
Well, I buy games and then trade them in, having not played them.
No. Yeah, you do. All right, you win. Next, Sony's PS4 virtual reality headset Project Morpheus. They didn't give a date still, but they did say it will be next year. So put to bed any speculation about it coming out this year. They said that the new specs on it are far superior to what they showed before. I'm going to read them off. Maybe Dan can elaborate on what it means. It has an OLED display with 1920 by 1080 resolution. Frame rate options of 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second. The screen is 5.7 inches with 360-degree tracking and what Sony says is super low latency, less than half of what the first version had. And they also made it so you can wear glasses.
Nice. Which is important for a blind person like me.
And me.
I read an article on Gizmodo shortly before we started about the two best virtual reality headsets were Project Morpheus and the HTC Vive that Valve's doing.
Really?
Yeah, the person who did the reviewing said that they were both far better than anything Oculus had to bring to the table.
Wow.
And it was specifically because of their control inputs.
Oh.
Their control inputs were far better than the Oculus Rift.
Cool.
But also the visual quality was supposedly a lot better on HTC's one and Project Morpheus.
You know, I was listening to another podcast earlier today, and they were talking about just the future of what these headsets could do, not just with video games, but like movies.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like how terrified I would be watching a horror movie in that setting. Like, it's bad enough now where I can see everything around me, but not to be able to see what's behind me or like, you know what I mean? Oh my God.
I would have to be like I don't know. I
don't even think I could do it.
Yeah, something really scary.
Could you imagine playing a game like the PT trailer on that?
That would be terrifying.
I couldn't do it. I could barely do it just doing regular on a PS4.
Yeah.
With
the TV a few feet in front of you.
Oof.
Instead of right in your face.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's something to look forward to for next year, perhaps. Wasteland 2 is coming to consoles. That's a pretty cool announcement. That's a game I wanted to try out. I know Corey, big fan.
Yeah.
Wasteland 2.
I like
How do you
Wasteland
think it
2.
translates to console?
Fine.
No?
It'll probably play like XCOM with a controller.
That's what it was kind of compared to.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. No date given, but soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one to look forward to. Bethesda revealed Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which is a prequel to the game that came out last year. That was very well received. The New Order. That's going to be out on May 5th, and that is $20. Standalone prequel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's something. $20. I might even.
I'll probably buy it.
Be willing to throw down for that one.
Yeah.
So, Dan, I think probably the biggest fan of the Wolfenstein game from last year.
I think so. Yeah. I really, really dug it.
Cool. And my last little bit, but certainly not least, Metal Gear Solid 5 will be coming out September 1st of this year.
Mm-hmm.
There was a piece of feedback. Idaho Jake asked if we thought that it was a good idea, because Corey talked about Mad Max.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's a good idea for Mad Max to come out the same day as Metal Gear 5?
Or no.
No.
I don't.
Ugh.
I could see them pushing that back.
We haven't seen
a few
anything
days.
about that game, really, either.
No,
Mad
just
Max.
there's very little, because we covered it during our games preview, and there was still only a handful of pieces of information out there about it.
Yeah.
And people have been waiting for Metal Gear Solid for a long time, and it got a huge fan base. I don't think it's a good idea to come out the same day as that.
No.
How far do you have to push it back though? Because once you get into
I would have it come out before.
Yeah.
And if you could have it come out like at the end of August,
that'd be ideal.
Perfect.
Well, their logic could be, and just coming from, I worked in music for a while. I know what a lot of like smaller artist would do would be to put their music out on the same day as a bigger release, just because more eyes are in the store.
Yeah, I could see that, but you're also talking about a $15 CD as opposed to a $60 video game.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see, but I don't think I would want to release on the same day as massive AAA like Metal Gear Solid 5.
And they also said it's going to be the last one.
The last Metal Gear?
The guy that creates it, yeah.
Really?
The last Metal Gear Solid.
But apparently he said that before.
Oh. Yeah. The internet doesn't forget that.
Yeah.
You can't. Okay. Nice.
So, that's all my nibble bits.
All right. It was announced last week that Fable Legends will be free to play, as well as being available for Windows 10 PCs and Xbox One with cross-platform multiplayer. Currently, no specific release date, but a fall 2015 launch seems likely. I guess it's supposed to come out around when Windows 10 is coming out for PCs, which is going to be in the fall sometime this year. So I like the cross-play multiplayer.
Yeah,
that means we'll all be able to play together, too.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's kind of cool. Nintendo is the next company to embrace the cross-buy trend popularized by Sony with Ollie Ollie and Mario vs. Donkey Kong. A purchase of either game will unlock the games for both Wii U and 3DS systems. I think I'm going to get Ollie Ollie.
Great game.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think I'll love it. So I'll be able to play it on the Wii U and the 3DS.
The new one just came out.
Yeah, Ollie Ollie 2, Welcome to Ollywood,
Yeah.
which is a cool name.
That's one of the PS Plus games this month.
Nice.
So.
Moving on, just before their scheduled GDC events, Valve announced the Steam Link, which is a set-top box designed specifically for streaming PC games from your PC to your television. It sports up to 1080p at 60 Hz with very low latency. Steam Link is currently slated for a November 2015 release for $50. I guess it also comes with a version, or there's a version of it that comes with the Steam controller too, for another $50. So it'll be $100 for the one with the Steam controller and the Steam Link.
There's your stream box, Dan.
Yeah, and you know what? I got the Shield tablet for streaming, which I can plug into my TV, but I like the idea of not having to plug and unplug cables all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to get one of these when it comes out. I probably won't get the controller. I like the NVIDIA Shield controller too much to even care about the Steam controller, but I definitely would like to have a dedicated streaming thing for my TV.
I'm interested in this too, Dan, if for no other reason than my computer chair is ungodly, uncomfortable.
This is pretty brutal too. To sit in for
so
hours.
if I could sit in my chair, on my couch, and play Steam games, that would be pretty nice.
It's any PC games too, apparently, not just Steam.
So I could play HOTS.
You could play HOTS.
Yeah, it's just to stream the games that are on your PC, right?
Yeah, I thought it was Steam stuff.
Nope, it's no, because you can there's always ways around it, you know.
Well, I knew that, but I wasn't about to figure them out.
It did say any PC game you can stream. So
now I have to get one. This is perfect.
Yeah, because I could stream Dragon Age through Steam in-home streaming, which is an Origin game, obviously. But yeah, you just get yourself a wireless keyboard and mouse and sit on your couch and play HOTS.
I can't wait for what we played.
Or whatever else.
I did a little Steam in-home streaming myself.
Yeah, it works surprisingly well. Like I said, I played all my 4 and February games other than Papers, Please on my tablet. You know, it was probably 60 hours of gaming just streamed to my tablet. It was fantastic. So I didn't have to sit down here and freeze.
Yeah.
It's really cold down here, and you know it's fine for podcasts because we're kind of distracted and stuff. But to sit down here and just play a game by yourself it's not much fun.
Speak for yourself, Dan.
What's that?
I'm always freezing when I go over there.
Yeah,
Corey, I wore long johns tonight under my.
There's an end in sight. Next week is supposed to be up into the 50s.
Oh, thank fuck!
And only down to like 25 at night. So
well, aren't we getting a storm tonight?
Really?
It's going to be cold tonight, but
no storm.
I think this is the last real cold night we're going to have.
And then I'm going to start bitching about how hot it is at night, and I can't.
Yeah. See, I just have
cycle.
have a fan blowing on me, and it keeps me.
Yeah. You get that 2 weeks at the beginning of May where it's perfect, and that's it.
Yeah, because right now, we sleep with an electric blanket. It's great.
Yeah.
But then it's going to be to that point where it's like, all right, do we turn the blanket on? Yes, but then at 3 a.m. I'm going to be drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
miserable.
Yep. I hear you. And then my last note bit, also at GDC, NVIDIA has announced the next in line of Titan cards, and the Titan X, which will have 12 gigabytes of video RAM and has 8 billion transistors. No word on pricing or real-world performance yet. NVIDIA did say that this one is specifically designed for super high-quality virtual reality type processes and whatnot.
I want that video card.
It'll probably be thousands of dollars.
Oh.
The Titan Z was 3,000. I can imagine this will be about the same.
I'll take out a loan.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Gotta play HOTS in 3D. Or virtual reality. Yeah.
Virtual reality.
VR HOTS.
That would be cool.
That doesn't sound appealing to me.
No.
I don't need that in virtual reality.
Yeah, I could see that. Really, the first person games are where the virtual reality
Yeah,
is,
they work.
especially like we talked about, like racing games and stuff. So I think it'd be perfect for.
Oh yeah.
So that's all for my week. The only thing I have to report is mild illness. I've been staying up real late and playing video games because I just want to go to bed by the end of the day. But I think I'm getting better, so hopefully I can start doing some more gaming.
Nothing's worse than being sick because it literally makes you not want to do a single thing.
I know. I just want to sleep. That's all I want to do.
I hate that.
And I have to be Dying Light. I just bought Homeworld Remastered, and there came an Echo. I want to play my new games, and
It's not
whatnot.
a fucking time in the day.
No, there's not. So I've been going to bed at like midnight or 12:30 as opposed to like.
I like how that's early.
Yeah, that's super early. I usually go to bed at like 2:30.
Oh,
So, excuse me. So that's all I had. What do you got, Will?
I honestly don't have a whole lot. My next week's gonna be pretty busy though. I'm gonna be going to Buffalo to watch the Rangers play the Sabres, and then from there, the next day, going to Erie to watch Connor McDavid.
The Erie Otters.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That is awesome. I'm jealous you're going to a junior game.
Yeah.
And especially to see, the next,
The next Buffalo Sabre.
maybe Buffalo's here, but the next NHL superstar.
Legend.
Yeah.
Really?
Because Eric, it was you that sent us the picture of like
Of his
Tavares.
stats,
yeah. So it was,
Yeah.
it was Tavares, McKinnon, and
Those were the top two, or well, those two were the closest to him.
okay, so it was like 38 games, and they had like
38 games played. They had 69 points apiece through the same amount of games. He had 100.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Crazy talk.
Yeah, that's
He
crazy.
had another 5 last night.
No big deal.
2 and 3.
And he breaks his hand punching people too.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
He won't be fighting when he gets to the NHL.
I can't wait till he's playing for the Sabres.
I guess we can talk about the trade deadline for hockey.
Yeah.
Rangers traded away Anthony Duclair for Keith Yandel. Those are the two big names in the draft. Corey, how do you feel about that?
I like it. I think it's a worthwhile gamble. I mean, they have a window anyway of 2 to 3 years with this core team that they have now. And, Duclair was great, but you never really know if they'll pan out.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I'm really glad they kept Matt Zuccarello.
Yeah, me too. I was worried when they put him on the trading block.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate it. Duclair will probably be a great young player, but as of right now, the Rangers have a shot, and they have a couple of years to do it. So.
Yeah. Plus, I really like Yandel. He's on my fantasy team, so.
Yeah, hopefully he can.
He is good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can do what Dan Boyle is incapable of doing.
Yeah, definitely going to help the power play.
I'm still pissed about the Kevin Kline trade from last year.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
How's Delzato, Dan?
He's a Philadelphia Flyer now. Thank you very much.
Where he belongs in that shit pile.
Well,
Yeah.
he did score a heartbreaker against the Rangers the other day. Delzato did.
Of course he did.
Asshole.
was he just loving it?
Oh yeah. And they
Was he-
asked him after the game, they're like, how'd it feel to score against the team that traded you? And he's like, I'd be lying if I didn't say I enjoyed it.
That's one thing that I like about soccer is that when they play their old teams that they used to play on when they were younger and they score, they don't celebrate. Except for one guy. He's a fucking asshole when he scored against Arsenal.
Van Persie.
Van Persie.
I like how I knew who it was.
Anyway, moving back to hockey.
Well, Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, they've traded everyone. Chris Stewart went for second to Minnesota. Seemed to have some kind of relationship with Minnesota. They always trade with them.
He looked really good in his game there. I watched them play
He's
Ottawa.
been good for the Sabres. He scores fairly for a Sabre, he scores fairly regularly.
Yeah.
Traded Neuwirth.
That's what he.
That one is so comical. That one is hilarious. Like, he starts playing well, and next thing you know, he's out the door for Chad Johnson straight up.
Yeah. Straight up.
So now we're rolling with Chad Johnson and Anders Lindback in nets.
Somebody, I think on the American Wyshynski podcast, they said that Buffalo under Tim Murray have had like 7 different starters play for them.
Goal.
Yeah.
In 2 years or something like that.
You go from like Hasek and Miller to Chad Johnson and Anders Lindback.
Really bringing it home in net.
But hey, you know what? Fuck it. If it can get us Connor McDavid, I don't give a shit. Anyway, who else they traded? Brian Flynn, I think.
Yeah.
For like a 5th, and
Torrey
Mitchell for like a 5th. So 4 more. They called up some youngsters the other day. Jerry D'Amigo, who lived or grew up right where we're from.
Yeah.
He got called up. Used to be a Maple Leafs product, but came over to the good side. Yeah, I mean, whatever. We all know what the goal is.
Yeah, what I've read an article about the winners and losers of the draft deadline, and one of the losers again was the Edmonton Oilers because they traded their best defenseman. And I don't know if they were
who was that?
Jeff Petrie,
Petrie
to the Canadians for
a 2nd round pick,
which second round pick for the Edmonton Oilers is not going to be good because they don't draft well.
They traded for him a couple years ago for a 2nd round pick, developed him into a defensive defenseman, and then figured he wasn't going to make it for them, and then traded him for a 2nd round pick.
Yeah,
like why would you trade your only defensive defenseman?
Yeah, but in the article they mentioned too that they're not going to be able to out tank Arizona or Buffalo, so they're probably not even going to end up with
Eichel or McDavid.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're gonna push themselves
out
of that.
Fucking deserve them.
That's what I said. They had 3 first overall picks in a row.
Yeah, they don't.
They've had their shot. They blew it.
Yeah.
So
Buffalo needs this.
Yeah. And Arizona's in the same situation. You know, they traded all their
assets,
their good players. So.
Well, you know, Buffalo. You know, they hung on to Molson, Ennis,
Gianta.
Some good young D-men. I can't really count Hodgson as good anymore. They don't really have a lot, do they?
They still got Zemgus.
Oh, Gergens. Yeah, Zemgus.
Who's out for
still there?
He's out for like a month.
Good.
So that's gonna help their chances with not winning any games.
Sit him.
Does Buffalo breaking to 60 points?
I don't know. Grigorenko got called back up again.
See Tim Murray going to the team doctor and saying, "We're not taking any chances this year with the boys. Any issue."
When I saw he got hurt, I was like, "Bullshit, he got hurt."
He's got a hangnail. They want him out for a while.
I fucking love Tim Murray, by the way. I love that guy. He they could ask him like, "How was your steak dinner for your anniversary last night?" He'd be like, "I fucking hate you." He looks at them like he just despises them.
Nice.
Greg Wyshynski said that the best picture in a few years from now is going to be Tim Murray with the cup over his head with that look that he has, that he just looks so miserable all the time. So it's going to be the best picture.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, whose week were we on?
Mine.
Okay. Back to you.
That's really it, Dan. Did Nashville do anything after the France end? And
no, aside from suck, no.
They're hurting without Jokinen.
That's when it all started.
Holy?
Yeah.
That's when it all started. When they traded him is when they've been awful.
Awful, really.
Just coincidence, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's what everyone's saying.
Are they still tops of the league or?
Yeah. No, Anaheim is now.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, Dan, they're losing 3-1.
I know. I just checked the score.
Who are they playing?
Islanders.
Well,
Ugh.
good team.
But I mean, the way they lost to the Devils the other night was just brutal.
Embarrassing.
Well, as I said, it's better for them to do it now than playoff time.
Yeah, that's what. But they. It's not that they're losing. It's just the way they're losing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully, they get back on track.
I think they will.
You know why, Dan? It's because I formally put my support behind them.
Maybe.
You know,
you got to reject them.
You're right, because as soon as you did that, they started slowing down.
Yeah. I should start rooting for Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I got no issue. I got no beef with
don't
Florida.
root for Florida.
We gotta
I'm locked in.
We gotta root for Florida.
I got no beef there.
So root for Boston? You won't do that.
No, never.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a good one.
Depends. That's my team, boys.
That's your playoff team this year.
Don't do it, Eric.
I would never root for Pittsburgh.
Not even ironically.
No.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't think Nashville's gonna stay that bad, but
No.
they gotta work on some things.
Hopefully they don't play the Wild in the first round.
I don't want to play anybody
That's true.
in the
Hopefully you
first round.
don't play in the first round.
First round
The
bye.
Blackhawks got a lot better. The Blues have been great all season,
Mhm.
and the Wild have been really good lately. So
Who knew the goalie that Edmonton gave up on was the solution
Yeah.
in Minnesota?
well, Edmonton sucks.
Neuwirth went to the Islanders, right?
Yeah, he did.
How's he doing? He done anything?
Yeah, he's the backup. I think he's played one game.
Who starts for them?
Halak.
Alec?
Oh, he came from Buffalo too.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it for my week, though.
Okay. What do you got, Eric?
Well, we already talked hockey. We might as well talk a little football now, as the Buffalo Bills are in the headlines. Traded for LaShawn McCoy from the...
Kind of crazy they did that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about this because running backs have such a short lifespan in the NFL. I think the average running back is like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, been in the league... He's 26 years old.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years probably.
He's been at least 5 years.
Yeah.
I know that. And he's used a lot in the Eagles' offense, and it's just the linebacker they traded, Kiko Alonso, had a fucking amazing rookie year, and then he missed all last year because of injury. But he's got 10 years ahead of him in the middle of the defense as one of their best players,
Yeah.
and you've given up on that for a guy who's got tread on the tires and. Running backs just don't last that long. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's very few and far between that last that long.
It is.
Like
So
Marshawn Lynch lasts for a while.
right. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully they can get a couple of good years out of him. But people I've talked to about it, they're like, well, they're trying to win now. And I'm thinking to myself, with those quarterbacks, they're trying to win now?
Right.
Like, is EJ Manuel? And then they traded for Matt Castle. Like, are these guys going to win now? Even with a great running game and a great defense. Like, I know Rex Ryan took the Jets to the AFC Championship game with Mark Sanchez and a
Yeah.
great defense, and believe me, I'd love to just even get in the playoffs. So I guess I would take that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Down the road, I don't think maybe we'll end up on the better end of that trade. Maybe in the immediate we might, but
Right.
I usually tend to look further down the road when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah, Kiko Alonso reunited with his former coach too,
Chip
Chip Kelly.
Kelly's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
How do you trade away LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson, and they got rid of Trent Cole? I guess 3 of their best players.
Yeah.
Remember the last team that traded their running back was Cleveland, and we said they were stupid. Turns out they were right.
Well, were they though? Like, what have they done?
Who did they get for Trent?
I don't
Richardson?
remember, but he had a 1,000-yard year when he was on the Browns.
Yeah, I know, but they still suck. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Bills. It's weird that they're like in the headlines and stuff, but I'm excited regardless. Should be fun. I guess Rex Ryan brings excitement to the team, if
Yeah.
nothing else. And right off the bat, all the reports were how pissed off LaShawn McCoy was about the trade.
Really?
Yeah. But Rex said he's going to go pick him up in his new Did you see his new truck?
No.
It's pretty sweet.
Okay.
It's got like the Bills logo, but like really cool looking Bills logo on the side of the truck. He said he's going to go pick him up at the airport and straighten him out.
Nice.
So I don't know.
Okay.
See what happens.
Yeah, I always miss football season when it's not football season. It's having football on all day Sunday is awesome.
You know what's been great for me? Since I've gotten so much more interested in soccer, the football off season goes by so much faster now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like thinking, I can't fucking wait for football.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
Okay.
I think other than that, not too much else. Just still been really into Workaholics as far as what I'm watching on TV. I love that show so much.
Good.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. What do you got, Corey?
It's been a while since I've been on the podcast. 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
Couple
yeah.
So a lot has transpired since then. And I'm racking my brain trying to think of what would be the most interesting thing for me to talk about, but I don't really have anything.
Okay.
All right.
You didn't do anything fun?
I did go. I went to the Binghamton on Tap craft beer festival 2 weekends ago, or was it last weekend? 2 weekends ago. That was pretty fun, and I'm going to the one in Utica this weekend. Over 100 craft brews. I would guess I maybe got through 30 of them, maybe.
So what do you get, a little sample cup?
You get a little, it's like a little, maybe like a 6-ounce sample glass, and then you just walk from tap to tap, and if the breweries are there themselves, then they'll have representation there, and they'll tell you about the beer and stuff. But a lot of the bigger ones just sent beer, so it was just volunteers serving their beer, which is not interesting at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to taste their beer and get drunk off of it, but you're not really learning anything about anything with those. But those are ones like Stella sent beer and the big ones. But it was nice because like the real local breweries, the one in Binghamton, the one in Owego, the guys were there, and like you could talk about their beer and stuff like that. And there was a couple hard cider ones that were there.
Nice.
A lot of the New York ones made the trip. And I'm hoping the one in Utica will have some more different people present to talk about their beer. But it was a lot of fun, had a lot of good beers. And then when we finished, we went out and drank some more, and it was a real long day. And I filled my belly with a lot of different beers, but came out on top the next morning, so I can't complain.
Nice.
I watched Birdman.
Oh, was it good?
I didn't love it. Not what's the phrase?
Picture.
Best picture worthy for me. I certainly liked it and can appreciate it for what it was, but I don't know. It was a little bit out there for me. I like things that are a little bit more grounded, not quite so crazy and abstract, which that was. But the coolest thing about that movie is there's not a single. They never cut. There's not a single cut. Just one continuous camera for the whole movie.
Oh, that's neat.
That's
I
interesting.
mean, they probably do it with computers here and there, but at least visually they give you the illusion that there's not a single cut. So it's always like panning around and time speeding up and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But it is cool to see Michael Keaton as a washed up superhero,
Yeah.
trying to resurrect his career on Broadway.
Uh-huh.
It's sort of meta.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely worth watching.
How was Emma Stone in it? She seemed like she was good in it.
She was actually pretty good. Yeah, she played a really interesting character. What's his
Attractive.
name? Ed Norton was good in it too. The acting was all very good, and the characters were all really interesting. It's just the theme of the movie, not the theme. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's just a little wacky, bizarre.
Okay.
Sort of like a Charlie Kaufman movie.
Uh-huh.
Like, is that his name, Charlie Kaufman? It's been so
I
long.
would know even if you gave me the right name.
Adaptation.
Never seen it.
Watched it.
Being John Malkovich.
I've seen that.
I think it's Charlie Kaufman. But, yeah. Same old for me for the most part.
Gotcha.
Cool.
All right. Well, we'll take a quick break and be back with what we played right after this. I gotta pee. I drank a whole 33 ounces of water.
I can't believe I don't have to pee yet after my Dunkin'.
Oh.
I drink my Gridlock energy drink.
Uh,
99 cents at Aldi, Will.
How is it?
It's good. Does
Charlie
the job.
Kaufman's correct.
Charlie Kaufman. I should know. I mean, the guy was kind of like my idol, But it's just been so long. I'm so old now.
Corey, when are we gonna hang?
Whenever, man. I'm available here.
Yeah, I gotta come up.
I'll probably be coming back to brew again one of these weekends this month. But Scott's about to give birth.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott's having a
Idiot.
child.
Yeah.
Personally.
What an idiot.
Idiot.
Will, you should be their nanny.
I want to smack him.
I can do it. Be
I
fun.
want to smack him for saying life wasn't supposed to be this easy.
He said that?
You told me he said that.
I don't think he used those exact words.
That's how you put it, and I was like, what a fucker.
Oh, no. I don't want you to think that he said that. He didn't say that.
Well,
He
I
just
told-
said he wanted something more.
Okay. That's better. Now I don't have to smack him.
You'd have to be a real asshole to say something like that.
I was like, boy, Scott's not that big of a prick.
Especially to somebody like me.
Yeah.
That's when I walk off a building.
Right? I hear you, buddy. How's the job hunt going?
It was good on Monday.
Yeah.
Sort of faded since then.
Always a spot for you down at W.
Yeah.
I formally put my request in to move to Virginia.
Wow.
It won't be for a year, but I did put my request in.
Nice.
Richmond.
You didn't want to just go to Elmira or something? Or Ithaca?
No. Definitely didn't. I'm so excited because there's a minor league soccer team in Richmond called the Richmond Kickers.
Uh-huh.
And I looked into their tickets. Season tickets are like $80
Wow.
for the VIP. I was like, perfect.
Nice.
And there's an Arsenal fan group down there, so
Cool.
I'm gonna fit right in.
Oh,
Nice.
speaking of, I see Jake's talking about Cosmos in the chat. Dan, did you finish Cosmos yet?
No, I'm only like 3 episodes in, maybe.
You gotta watch. You ever heard the Carl Sagan's pale blue dot thing?
I'm vaguely familiar with it.
I can send you the clip. It's the very last 5 minutes or so in Cosmos.
Uh-huh.
But
Carl Sagan's
yeah,
Cosmos?
they remastered the audio from, I don't know if it was when he did his Cosmos, but it's a Carl Sagan, I guess you could call it poetry. It's really good.
Nice. I will definitely watch it.
Kill, bruh.
No, and whenever I want to watch something, Cosmos just never pops into my head.
That's what I just said to
should,
Jake.
I should just watch it. I usually just end up watching Futurama again.
Yeah. Same. I'll just watch like Workaholics
Yeah.
because it's 20 minutes long. You know?
I could fall asleep with Futurama because I've seen every episode like 100 times.
Corey, do you like Workaholics?
Yeah. I've only watched like the first 2 seasons though.
Oh, you should watch it, man. Oh, God, it's so funny.
Yeah, I
That
love
one
it.
one of the guys is on Modern Family.
Is he really?
The normal looking guy.
Anders?
No, the other one.
The
Not
little guy.
Not the dude with
Adam?
the long hair. Adam, yeah.
He's on Modern Family?
Yeah.
Holy crap, I didn't know that.
He's funny.
He's like a minor character.
Does he play a guy that the girl has a crush on?
Yes.
Okay.
And he takes care of the baby.
Yes. Okay.
Which I love that show too. That
Modern
show is
Family's a great show.
freaking hilarious because like we have the TV on and I'll
Yeah.
just watch it and it's so good.
It is a good show. The gay couple cracks me up. So funny.
It's good stuff. Shall we?
Might as well, Dan. It's 10:30.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 189 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in what we played. We're going to get started with Corey because
Ooh.
Corey's got a little bit to report on.
So yeah,
How'd you go in 4 in February, Corey?
conclusion of 4 in February. I wouldn't have tried so hard to finish it if I knew I wasn't going to finish it. I finished at about 1:30 a.m. It was 1:20, I think, Will, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was around 1:20.
1:20 a.m. I completed my 4 in February, an hour and 20 minutes late, which was really depressing because I really pushed myself to get it done the last 3 days or so.
Corey, I need to say that I was blown away by how fast you got through Galaxy.
It wasn't that fast. It took me
started
more.
that-
It took me more than the 10 or 11 hours how long to beat has on there.
I think it's 13 on there, isn't it?
But you started that day, right?
No,
Oh, okay, never mind. I
No.
thought you started that day.
No, I had started it already. Really, really depressing once I finished it and didn't hit the mark. Just because I had put so much effort and really hated video games by the time I was done. Because it's the way you never want to be forced to play. You never want to be forced to play video games and hit.
I've come to despise 4 in February for that very reason.
And yeah, I think next year if I do it, I'm definitely going to choose really short games. And obviously, I mean, I have nobody to blame but myself because I really only started it with 4 days left in February. Just putting it off, like writing a college essay or something like that. You put it off to the last minute and then try and do it. And I just probably played 3 times as much Hearthstone as I did 4 in February time through the month of February. So that's what Will said. I forget what you said, Will, but ifs, ands, and buts, or what's the saying? If ifs and buts were candies and nuts. I don't know.
I hear it a lot. But
Doesn't matter. Like a million different things happened along the way. Like, my girlfriend's mother, it was her birthday. I didn't know she was coming over for lunch that last day until the day before. So that, I lost the time there. That time was probably enough to finish in time. Lots of little things. I ended up playing through the Deus Ex Human Revolution DLC, which I didn't want to do, which added an extra 2 or 3 hours into it. Just a lot of little frustrating things. At one point during the day, I was playing Deus Ex through Steam Family Sharing on my cousin's account, and he logged in, so I got booted. So I went into the other room to play Mario Galaxy, but my girlfriend was napping on the couch, and those were the only 2 games I had to finish. So I was just like sitting there, like twiddling my thumbs, like I need to play one of these games. And I didn't want to text my cousin and say, "Hey, can you not play video games so I can?"
I would have.
So I lost some time. That just a lot of little things, and I was just so pissed. Those last 2 days, and just getting so frustrated with every little thing in Deus Ex and Mario Galaxy. Every time I died, I literally wanted to throw my controller through the screen.
I figured you didn't like your last 3 games because you played them in such short time.
I really liked them. I liked them a lot, but when I lost time is when I got really frustrated and angry. And it got to the point in Deus Ex where I just didn't read anything. I just skipped everything. I stopped caring about the story, which isn't how I want to play video games. It's not an enjoyable way for me to play it, and I just missed everything that would have made that game so much better for me. Because for me, it was the story and the setting. That's what I really liked about the game to start, and I just skipped the last half of it because I didn't have time.
Man.
That said, Knights of the Old Republic, I played pretty much like a normal video game, and really enjoyed and had a good time with. And same with Ocarina of Time.
How'd you like that?
I loved it. If I had been playing on my legally backed up copy on my computer, I probably wouldn't have liked it. But the 3DS remaster is really good.
Is it?
If you guys ever get a chance to boot it up and just play around with it a little bit, it's great, and it's a game that still holds up really well and is made all the better with the remastered graphics for the 3DS.
I should play it.
It's a really good port.
It's hard to find now.
Yeah, apparently.
No, Johnny.
It's expensive. Yeah, that's true.
But in that too, I don't like to play games with walkthroughs, but I used a walkthrough because I didn't want to lose any time. Which made it really easy. At no point did I have a difficult time with a boss or anything like that. Even Ganondorf at the end was really easy. I pretty much 100%ed it. The only thing I didn't get were all the gold Skulltulas. I think I got the first 50, and there's 100, but after the first 50, they're not worth anything. There's no reason to get them. I guess if you get all 100, you can get infinite rupees, but by that point in the game, you don't need any rupees. So, I played that with a guide, which I don't like to do. Deus Ex, I just put it on easy and stealth through the whole game. And Will, I didn't know for Deus Ex I didn't know about the whole stealth thing, the make yourself invisible.
You didn't know that?
No, until you mentioned it, and I was like, I guess that would be worthwhile.
Honestly, I hardly ever used any of my praxes after I got that, because that's the first thing I got, and it made everything so much easier.
Yeah.
crouch and be careful so you don't like run, because then they can hear you.
Yep. I will say though, I was playing the director's cut or whatever.
How was
and it was really good because I mean I didn't play any of the bosses in the original one, but apparently you had to like kill the bosses, which people didn't want to do. And the director's cut adds a bunch of different things you can do to defeat the bosses, like hacking terminals and stuff like that, which I thought was really well done. I did end up killing people, but it was one of those things where I just stopped caring. I was going to do the whole thing without killing anybody for that achievement, but again, you know, the constraints of time, I just stopped caring and just wanted to get through it and just started chucking grenades at people and, you know.
Yeah.
It is. Sorry.
Did you get to the wrong waypoint in the shipyard?
I think you just do it. If you have the director's cut version, you just play through the DLC as if it was part of the game.
Okay.
Yep. And that was a really terrible part of the game in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked it more.
If you were going back to it, I imagine you would, but
you were forced to play it. That sucked.
yeah, and what happens is what they do is you get captured, and when you break out, you only get half of your. I don't even know if it's half. They only give you a certain number of praxis points.
That's right.
Yeah. So I, was playing this game all along and had all these skills, and then I get out of this. I get pushed into this DLC that I didn't want to do to begin with, and they strip me of like all the skills that I had for this 3-hour portion of the game, and it was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And that ticked me right off.
That's unfortunate that you had to do that. I felt bad.
Yeah. But I still really like the game. I only one thing I really like about the game is the persuasion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do any of that, Will?
Oh yeah.
That's really well done because you put a praxis point, which is like a skill point, into the persuasion skill or whatever it's called, and it shows you when you're talking to people and negotiating with them. It shows you like your level of influence with them, what type of personality they have, a little bit of background info on them. So when they ask you a question or you have to respond to them, you can kind of choose the right thing just by reading a little bit about the character that you're dealing with, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, like the conversation with Hugh Darrow at the end of the game. Like, so cool because, like, how you were responding, like, you're pretty much having a word battle with him, and then you eventually crack him. Yeah. It was cool to do that.
I cracked him, and then what he does is he gives you a terminal code to help you beat the last boss. Mm-hmm. So you could fail and just have a harder time with the last boss, or you could succeed and, made the last boss fight really easy.
See, I wondered how the bosses worked because they're pretty difficult. Because as I said, I went all stealth, so like all my practice points were into things that would help me not kill anybody.
Right.
So when I'd get into a battle, I was like really struggling to beat everybody. I didn't mind because I loved the game. But if you were kind of not into the game that much and had to do that, I'm pretty sure everybody would hate the game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. I only had 2 options at the end of the game. I think there's a total of 4.
Yeah, which one did you get?
I chose the one. What did I do? The one that, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but the one that killed me.
Man, it's been a while since I played.
And like everyone, it's like giving humanity a chance to do its own thing. I think was what the option was.
So you pretty much made it so that the augmentation stopped, kind of.
I think so. I think what I chose was like humanity had a choice in which direction to go.
Okay.
But it wouldn't. Adam Jensen's influence wouldn't be a part of that decision that humanity went. So I think I killed myself. It's a little bit. I don't
ambiguous.
know. Ambiguous at the end, but I did that.
Okay.
But
forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'll definitely play the next one. And again, I kind of want to play through this one again and really,
take your time with it.
Yeah, take my time with it and get into it. But the constraints of the 4 in February is just terrible. And the last one I played, Mario Galaxy 2, was probably my favorite of all the ones that I played. Even though it was the last one, and I was getting real frustrated every time I died. But at the same time, I knew like if I wasn't pressed for time, it wouldn't have bothered me that much. But I honestly think Mario Galaxy 2 has some of the cleverest and creative level designs of any platformer.
Definitely, right?
Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. Even the comet levels where you have to do like speed runs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's so frustrating, but so much fun. Like trying to get through these levels that took me, 10 or 15 minutes the first time in 2 minutes.
Mhm.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was one really frustrating one that I spent so much time trying to beat, and there you beat it your first try.
Oh yeah, the bowling one, the one where you're rolling on the ball.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the one.
Yeah. That's really frustrating because you have to use the Wiimote. You tip the Wiimote up and you tip it, and that's how you control Mario running on a ball. But really enjoyable game overall, and it was about 10:30, and I had like 50 stars, and I had read that you needed 60 to go to Bowser and defeat him. So I was like, oh, no problem. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. Great. And then come to find out the thing I read was wrong. You actually need 70 stars, which is why it took me till about 1:30 to finally beat Bowser, which was also really easy, considering how hard the other parts of the game were in some spots.
So
Well done, though, Corey.
yeah, you got games.
But I was afterwards. I don't know. Probably one of those defining moments, and I still can't put my finger on the emotion I was feeling.
I'm never doing 4 in February again.
I had a great time.
It's really not a good way to play video games.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
See, I like it because I wouldn't play these games otherwise.
I don't care.
There's no way.
I don't play them anyway.
Well, I know, but I have a huge backlog of games that I do want to play.
I mean,
And I
have access to all of those games too now.
I wouldn't do it otherwise.
It should be like 1 in February or something.
Well,
Yes, 2 top. Play these 2 fucking games in February.
I'm gonna do 4 again.
Yeah,
Fuck
I'll
that.
probably do it every year.
I don't have the time. Like my video game time is so precious to me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to sit there and play Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
I will be damned.
I think that was part of it too, Eric, is my 4 in February was 88 hours. And I guarantee you I put in well over 100. And that's the thing, like, I'm at a point in my life where I shouldn't be spending 100 hours playing video games in a month. You know? And I tried so hard to do it and put so many things aside and didn't succeed. And it was just kind of heartbreaking at the end of it.
Sure.
And it's something. It was doing something that I love, and it made me hate it.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I was just like,
You know what popped
What have
into
I
my
done?
brain, Corey? And I think about this sometimes. When we first started doing the podcast, sometimes, you just remember certain things that somebody says.
Yeah.
Corey said when we first started the podcast, he never wanted any of us to feel like this was a job.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt with 4 in February.
yeah.
I don't want to feel like I failed at a job when you know what I mean? I just don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Maybe I just shouldn't be so hard on myself about it, like to not do it. It's okay, I picked 4 games and I just didn't get through it, and
That's how I was, but at the same time, I don't even want to have to worry about it again.
yeah.
Okay.
But, I played 4 fantastic games, and I look back on them, and I'm really glad that I did. And, especially a game like Ocarina of Time, like, to finally say, oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about in every part of that game.
Yeah, that's my thing with 4 in February too. Like I said, and like I think of a game like Saints Row the Third. That was on my backlog, and it was a 4 in February game. I probably one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. I probably would never have played it if it wasn't for 4 in February.
Yeah.
I would never have gotten Lord of the Rings War in the North. I don't think I would never would have played Dust. Like, these are games I ultimately ended up really enjoying that I just never would have played otherwise.
I guess I'm just fine with missing out on it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you think you would have gotten to like Bayonetta 2 at some point?
Yes.
Do you think?
That I would have played.
Okay. What was
Because it's newer.
right.
Like, the newer stuff, I'll play.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess I'm just at a point where I don't honestly care if I miss out on older stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather play the newer stuff to talk about on the podcast.
And that was another part of it, too, is I really just wanted to play Dying Light and...
Well, yeah, because that came out
Dragon Age.
right at the beginning of the month,
Yeah.
or end of January, whatever. And then the order came out, so it's like I wanted to play those 2 things.
Yeah.
And I was started with Grim Fandango. I just was not gonna force myself to play that.
Right.
Game fucking blows. I want somebody else to play it just to see what you think.
I'll do it at some point.
Yeah, I'll probably end up playing it at some point too. Maybe in the summer.
This reviewed well magically.
It's probably the people that have the nostalgia with it.
Yeah,
which
they
I
play it
have
back.
no attachment whatsoever. So
Played it back in the day. Corey, I'm gonna add the games to your list right now.
Oh, thank you.
Games list, because we're behind.
Jake said, for in February, he thinks needs to be games that you want to play or always wanted to play, and you should be able to change a game if you want. Even so, like, I still think even putting 4 games that I want to play or have always wanted to play, I still don't think I'd want to do it.
You know, you need a lot of time like me, because I got it done in like a week and a half.
Yeah, I can't. I don't... Because my game time schedule has to work out perfectly for me to play games anyway. Like,
Yeah.
with my fiance and all that, so it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from, Eric.
Now I'm playing HOTS.
Oh.
So I just got to get that time in. Got to play FIFA sometimes with Jeff. You know?
Yeah.
You can work all this shit in.
I get it.
Got to play my new games.
It was hard pulling myself away from Smash and HOTS to play my
Sure.
4 in February.
Sure it
As
was.
much,
My God.
as much as I loved all the games that I played.
Yeah. I mean, Bayonetta was fucking great.
I gotta play that still.
Yeah. You and Corey both need to play that one. Corey, do you have Bayonetta?
No.
You can borrow mine when I get it. Get
I'll
through.
borrow it.
Yeah, I'd let you borrow mine, but I'm going to trade it in.
I'm putting the games on the list.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Do you any other games you want to talk about, Corey?
For some reason, when I said thanks, dude, Siri just activated.
Oh, series frightening.
Series confused.
No, I haven't played anything other than that,
Ours.
and Monster Hunter. But I do want to get back to Dying Light. Hopefully, I can get back into that and just
Hearthstone?
finish that up. I haven't really played Hearthstone. I played a little bit yesterday, but I'm kind of waiting for the Blackrock Mountain stuff. Even that, like, after the 4 in February stuff, I don't want to say it's a funk because I'm enjoying Monster Hunter, but like I feel like I need to go to like a video game rehab or something.
Doesn't getting burnt out on video games is the worst feeling because
Yeah.
it's the only thing that I like to do. So like when I don't have that, I'm just like, what the fuck do I do with myself right now?
That happened to me a little bit last summer.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it was because no new games came out, and the ones I was playing I wasn't really liking. But also that I was working, so I get up at 5:30. My video game time is at night.
Yeah.
So by the time the kids got to bed and everything, it was late, and I didn't want to stay up really late and play video games. I won't have that to worry about this year, but which will be nice. Okay, what about you, Will? What do you got?
I'll say I beat Diablo 3.
Hey, well done.
For I don't know,
Yearly
my
playthrough.
yearly playthrough. There'll be more beats of that this year. I won't
Didn't you
get.
just start that last week?
Yeah.
I don't know how you beat that all. That's a long game.
I was in Act 2 with my Demon Hunter, and I just played. I played through the rest of Act 2, and the next day I played through Act 3 and 4, and the day after I played through 5. I've beaten it so many times, I know how to get through it fast.
That is not a game I would want to replay. I would want to play through the rifts and shit.
Yeah.
Like that would be fun. But what'd you play on PS4?
No, I did it on PC.
You have it for PS4, right?
PS4, PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Play it a lot.
We should play it again. I'd have to buy it again.
I'm ready whenever.
We should do that this summer when there's not a lot coming out.
Yeah. I got a revenge on for Fred.
Yeah, Fred's untimely death.
At least for now, there's not a lot coming out. Who knows?
I hope it stays that way.
Batman in June. That's it that we know of so far.
I think the Xenoblade Chronicles X for the 3DS is in there somewhere.
No, Xenoblade Chronicles is coming out in April.
Okay.
X is coming. That'll be a fall release.
Is X
That's
the
for the
Wii
Wii
U?
U. Yeah. That's a science fiction one.
Are any of you going to get the 3DS game?
I'm getting it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I put it on our calendar for.
It's one I wanted to play. Corey had it for the Wii, but you must have sold it or traded it in or something.
Will should have it.
I keep checking for it.
I can't find any Wii remotes, and I found one nunchuck. I don't know where my Wii stuff even remotely is.
Disappeared. That was the one game I gave Will with
really?
the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to play it on the Wii. So when I saw it was coming out in the new 3DS XL, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get it. Was specifically for.
Dan,
You
can
know,
I sway you away from not getting or away from getting it?
Why?
It's a good game, but at this point, it's one of those. Why? Especially with the new one coming out.
Yeah, I'd like to have something to play on my 3DS.
Okay.
I get that.
Because I can play it during the day when the kids are around. If I have an hour here and there, and then if I need to stop, I just fold it.
Yeah.
The 3DS is a great system when you have kids.
It's a good dad system.
It is.
Speaking of that, I meant to ask you guys this a while ago. Have any of you had an issue with the cartridge being on the lower left?
No.
Because try this. Try like tapping it next time you're playing,
Okay.
and see if it kicks you out of the game. Because I had that happen. I was holding it and I like tapped it on something in the game. It said the game card was removed.